Hello everyone, welcome back to the video lecture series on digital communications. In the last lecture, we discussed the differential pulse code modulation and the transmitter structure as well as the receiver, and we are also calculated the signal to quantization noise ratio. In this lecture, we will discuss the concept of delta modulation, that means how to convert your analog signal into digital signal by using delta modulation techniques. So, why we want to go for this delta modulation technique? The transmitter of DM system and the receiver of DM system, followed by what are the various noises are there, what are the various quantization noises present in delta modulation, and finally signal to quantization noise ratio, right. So, first one is, so delta modulation is a 1-bit version of DPCM. So, previously you discussed differential pulse code modulation, where we are transmitting as more number of bits per sample, right. So, delta modulation is a 1-bit version of DPCM or 2 level, that indicates here we are having as only 2 quantization levels, right. So, why we want to go for this delta modulation is to reduce the signaling rate as well as the transmission channel bandwidth. We are using DM. If you remember, in case of PCM, the signaling rate is nothing but number of bits per second. So, the signal rate in case of PCM is N into Fs. The bandwidth in PCM is half into N into Fs, where N means the number of bits per each sample, Fs represents the sampling frequency, right. Now, if you move to DM, in DM substitute N equal to 1. If you substitute N equal to 1, the signal rate becomes only Fs, whereas bandwidth is half into Fs. That indicates here we are having as the signal rate is N into Fs, that is N times Fs. In case of DM, only 1 bit is transmitted for each sample, so it will become simply Fs, whereas the bandwidth of PCM system is half into NFS. In case of DM, it is half into Fs only, right. So, that is the major purpose of DM. In order to reduce the signaling rate and the transmission channel bandwidth compared to pulse code modulation and differential pulse code modulation, we are going for delta modulation systems, right. The specialty of DM is only 1 bit is transmitted per sample. We are transmitting only 1 bit per each sample, right. So, what is the process of delta modulation? How to transmit only 1 bit? That indicates we can transmit either binary 1 or we can transmit binary 0. When we want to transmit binary 1, when we are transmitting binary 0. The process of delta modulation is as follows. So, consider the message signal x of t and perform the sampling process, that means which converts continuous time signal into discrete time signal. So, that indicates the time is in discrete form. So, let us say this one is Ts, next one is 2Ts, it is 3Ts, next one is 4Ts, like this. So, continuous time is converted to discrete time, right. Next one is the original signal is compared with its previous value at each sampling instant. For example, the previous sample value I am assuming as like this, right. So, compare x of t with the previous sample. So, that means at this point here x of t is more than the previous value. So this signal is increased by plus delta. It is increased by plus delta, right? So that value is continued up to next sample, that is 2Ts. Compare x of t with the previous sample value at t equal to 2Ts. Once again x of t is more than this one, so this value is increased to plus delta, right? So now at t equal to 3Ts, once again x of t is more than this, so it is increased to plus delta, right? So at t equal to 4Ts, previous sample value is compared with x of t, here x of t is more than this, so once again it is increased to plus delta, right? So this value is continued up to next sample. So at this sample, that means at this point, compare x of t with this value. Here x of t is less than this previous sample value, then it is decreased by delta. Once again it is compared with x of t, so it is once again decreased by delta. Here also x of t is less than the previous sample value, once again it is decreased by delta. So here also, so compare x of t with the previous sample value. Here x of t is less than this, so it is decreased by delta. Similarly here also decreased by delta. Now x of t is more than the previous sample value, so it is increased by delta. So here also x of t is more than previous sample value, increased by delta. It is like this, right? So this signal is known as approximated signal. It is approximated signal. Note, right? Now see here, so x of t is our original message signal, whereas this one is approximate signal, which is representing as a staircase representation of oversampled version of the signal. Delta modulation gives a staircase approximation to the oversampled signal, right? Now here at this sample, approximate signal is increased by delta. So for this sample, binary 1 is transmitted, whereas at the second sample at t equal to Ts, once again approximate signal increased by delta. So this sample binary 1 is transmitted. At t equal to 3Ts, approximate signal is increased by delta. So once again binary 1 is transmitted for that sample. At t equal to 4Ts, approximate signal is increased by delta. So once again binary 1 is transmitted for that sample. Whereas at this place your approximate signal is decreased by delta, binary 0 is transmitted for the sample. So here also it is decreased by delta. So once again binary 0 is transmitted for that sample. The approximate signal is decreased by delta, here also binary 0 is transmitted for the sample. So here also it is decreased by delta, binary 0 is transmitted for the sample. Here also it is decreased by delta, binary 0 is transmitted for the sample. Here approximate signal is increased by delta, binary 1 is transmitted for the sample. So here also approximate signal is increased by delta, binary 1 is transmitted for that particular sample. In case of delta modulation, only 1 bit is transmitted for the sample. If the approximate signal is increased by delta, binary 1 is transmitted for that particular sample. If the approximate signal is decreased by delta, binary 0 is transmitted for the particular sample, right? So this is the process of delta modulation. Only 2 steps are involved in delta modulation. We are comparing our approximate signal with your incoming message signal, right? If the message signal is more than the approximate signal, then approximate signal is increased by plus delta. If the message signal is less than the approximate signal, then approximate signal is decreased by delta, right? It is the continuous process. Whenever the approximate signal is increased by delta, binary 1 is transmitted for that particular sample. When the approximate signal is decreased by delta, binary 0 is transmitted for the particular sample. So that is the whole process of delta modulation. So DM provides a staircase approximation to the oversampled signal. So we are representing the staircase approximation, which is nothing but u of t, right? So how to obtain this one? That is the difference between input and approximation. The difference between input and approximation is quantized into 2 levels. These are quantized into only 2 levels. What is those 2 levels? Plus delta and minus delta. So depends upon the positive and negative differences. That indicates the difference between x of t and u of t is positive, then approximate signal is increased by plus delta. If the difference between x of t and u of t is negative, then approximate signal is decreased by delta, right? The same thing, if the approximation is false, approximate signal means u of t which falls below the signal at any sampling instant, at any sampling instant, then the approximate signal is increased by delta. If the approximate signal, that means u of t lies above the signal at any sampling instant, then the approximate signal is decreased by delta. That is the whole process of delta modulation. So in delta modulation we are using as 2-level quantizer or 1-bit quantizer. The input and output characteristics of 2-level quantizer is like this. That indicates it is plus delta, another one is minus delta. The difference between x of t and u of t is positive, approximate signal is increased by plus delta. If the difference between x of t and u of t is negative, then the approximate signal is decreased by delta. So this is the characteristics of 2-level quantizer. So we already defined the step size delta in case of PCM. So the step size means the difference between two successive quantization levels. That means the difference between these two quantization levels. So the difference between these two is nothing but 2 delta. So capital delta equal to 2 into small delta. So where this delta represent the step size, right? So next one is the DM system transmitter. The transmitter is like this. The transmitter consists of majorly 3 parts. The first one is the summation, that is sigma function. Second one is 1-bit quantizer, and the third one is accumulator. So this part is called as accumulator. So it is called as accumulator. So the DM system transmitter consists of the summer, second one is 1-bit quantizer, and third one is accumulator, right? So now here the oversampled signal we are applying here, that is x of NTS. Now that is compared with the previous sample, that is x cap of NTS. X cap of NT is nothing but the previous sample value. So right, so the difference between these two is positive. The difference between these two is positive, then it is increased by plus delta. The difference between x of NTS and x cap of NTS is negative, then it is decreased by delta, right? So the difference between these two is E of NTS, which is known as the error signal. E of NTS is nothing but the error signal, right? So based on the error signal is either positive or negative, the quantization assigns one of the quantization level, right? So if the error signal is positive, then 1-bit quantizer is assigned to plus delta. If the error signal is negative, then it is assigned to minus delta, right? Then so this one, depending upon the approximate signal is increased by plus delta or minus delta, we are transmitting either binary 1 or binary 0, right? So here the same thing. So B of NTS is given as feedback, that is delay TS. So delay TS means the 1-bit delay. So that's why it is known as simply an accumulator, right? That is the transmission structure of DM system. Right. So we will write some mathematical equation which are related to transmitter, right? So this one is x of NTS, previous one is x cap of NTS, right? So here we are using as summation function, and this total part is, that is this bottom part is simply accumulator. This one is simply accumulator. So we will write some mathematical expressions for the DM system transmitter, right? So look at the diagram carefully. So here error signal E of NTS is nothing but the difference between x of NTS and x cap of NTS, right? So E of NTS, which is equal to error signal, the difference between input sample signal, that is x of NTS minus x cap of NTS, right, which is equal to x of NTS minus x cap of NTS is nothing but the delay, that is u of NTS minus TS. So, u of NTS minus TS. Now, the next one is output of the quantizer, which is equal to B of NTS. Output of the quantizer is B of NTS, which is nothing but the quantized value of error signal, that is E of NTS, which is nothing but the quantized value of the error signal, which is equal to delta into signum function E of NTS. That indicates delta into signum function means plus 1 or minus 1, right. So, the output of 1 bit quantizer is either plus delta or minus delta. So, which is represented as delta into signum of E of NTS, right. The next one, U of NTS. U of NTS is nothing but B of NTS plus x cap of NTS. B of NTS plus x cap of NTS. These are the mathematical equations related to DM system transmitter, right. So, look at the structure of receiver. DM system receiver consists of majorly two parts. First one is accumulator and next one is low pass filter. So, this part is simply an accumulator. This one is the simply an accumulator, followed by the low pass filter. So, this one is low pass filter. Right. So, the function of accumulator is we can obtain the staircase signal. We can get the staircase signal, that is the approximate signal is reconstructed by passing the incoming sequence of positive and negative pulses. The input to the receiver is positive and negative pulses. From that one we are obtaining the staircase approximated signal. Once the staircase approximated signal is obtained, then that staircase signal is passing through the low pass filter to get back the original signal. For example, the staircase signal means it is like this. The output of the accumulator is a staircase signal. When the staircase signal is passing through the low pass filter, so the output of the low pass filter is like this. So, this is the output of low pass filter, right. So, how we are obtaining the staircase signal in the transmitter side? The same process we are performing the receiver side by using the same accumulator, right. So, once the staircase signal is obtained, then the staircase signal is passing to the low pass filter to get the continuous waveform. So, what are the advantages of DM systems? The first advantage is only 1 bit code word. First advantage is 1 bit code word for the output. That indicates for each sample only 1 bit is transmitted. The second advantage is the simplicity of design, both the transmitter and receiver. That means the transmitter and receiver structures are very simple when compared to PCM system as well as DPCM system. Third advantage is the signaling rate is reduced and the channel bandwidth is also reduced when compared to PCM. In case of DM system, we are transmitting only 1 bit per sample, hence the signal rate is reduced and the transmission channel bandwidth also reduced when compared to PCM system. So, these are the advantages of DM system. DM system has some limitations also. The first one is slope overload distortion and the second one is granular noise. There are two drawbacks are there in case of DM system. First one is slope overload distortion, second one is granular noise. So, what do you mean by these two noises, right? So, we will see the quantization noise in DM system. So DM systems are subjected to two types of quantization errors. The first one is slope overload distortion and the second one is granular noise. So what do you mean by slope overload distortion and granular noise? Why these two noises are arises? How to reduce these two types of noises? Okay. So let us consider the input waveform. So it is x of t. Assume the previous sample value is like this. Compare x of t with the approximate signal. Here x of t is more than this one, so it is increased by delta. And the next sample, compare x of t with the approximate signal. Here also increased by delta. 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 Because x of t is more than the approximate signal, in that case approximate signal is increased by delta. Now x of t is less than approximate signal, then it is decreased by delta. Here also decreased by delta. Here also decreased by delta. Now here x of t is more than approximate signal, then it is increased by delta. Here x of t is less than this one, then it is decreased by delta. So here it is increased by delta. Here is decreased by delta. Here is increased by delta. Okay. So the only one point you can remember is whenever x of t is more than the approximate signal, then approximate signal is increased by plus delta. When x of t is less than the approximate signal, then approximate signal is decreased by delta. Right? So look at this gap. That means this portion. So which is known as slope overload distortion. Slope overload distortion. That indicates the slope of the input signal. The slope of the input signal is more when compared to the slope of approximated signal. You can see carefully here. So this duration is Ts, that is for each and every sample. So this one is Ts, right? So here the slope of the original signal is more compared to the slope of the approximate signal, then the slope overload distortion will occur. So coming to here, you can see just carefully. So this one is known as granular noise. This one is known as granular noise. The slope overload distortion is arises because the step size means this part. The step size means this one. The step size is too small compared to input signal variation. That means input signal is rapidly varying, whereas the approximate signal is falls behind the input signal. At that time slope overload distortion arises, right? So granular noise occurs. Look at here. Here input signal is slowly varying, whereas the approximate signal is increases more. That means the step size of the approximate signal is too large compared to input signal variations. Then the granular noise occurs. You can see here this one is very high. That means the step size is large when compared to input signal variations, right? So this one is the slope overload distortion, whereas this one is granular noise. How to reduce it? The slope overload distortion is decreases by increasing the step size, because here you can see this part. Here slope, that means the gap between input signal and the approximate signal is more. If you want to reduce the slope overload distortion, you can increase the step size. Whereas in case of granular noise, the step size is too large compared to input signal variation. In order to reduce the granular noise, we need to decrease the step size. If the step size is decreases, means automatically the gap between these two is also reduced, right? We will see. So the step size is too small for the staircase approximation. The step size is too small staircase approximation means u of t. Staircase approximation means u of t, and u of t follows x of t. U of t falls behind x of t, and the condition is known as slope overload. The noise occurs is known as slope overload distortion. The condition is known as slope overload, and the resulting quantization error is known as slope overload distortion, right? The slope overload distortion is arises whenever the slope of the signal, that is the maximum slope of the signal, is large when compared to the slope of the approximate signal. So delta by Ts is the slope of the approximate signal, whereas maximum of dx of t by dt, which is nothing but the slope of the message signal. Slope means change in y axis with respect to x axis, right? So this is the condition to get the slope overload distortion. So what is the condition to avoid slope overload distortion? The condition to avoid slope overload distortion is is, so that is maximum of dx of t by dt, maximum of dx of t by dt less than or equal to delta by Ts. So that is the condition to avoid the slope overload distortion, right? Granular noise. So granular noise occurs when the step size is too large compared to small variations in the input signal. That means input signal is slowly varying, whereas the step size is too large. At that time we can get the granular noise, right? So that indicates the approximate signal u of t hunt around your input signal, hunting around the input signal, so which is known as the granular noise. So next one is signal to quantization noise ratio in case of sinusoidal modulation in DM systems, right? So you can consider the effect of quantization noise, and we are assuming that there is no slope overload. That means there is no slope overload means we are having only the granular noise, right? So consider the sinusoidal signal, that is x of t equal to some a naught into cos 2 pi f naught into t. Differentiate x of t with respect to t, that indicates the slope of the input signal, that is d of x of t by dt, which is equal to a naught is as it is. The differentiation of cos function is minus sine of 2 pi f naught into t into 2 pi f naught, right? Now what is the magnitude of the slope? That is magnitude dx of t by dt, which is equal to a naught into 2 pi f naught into sine of 2 pi f naught into t, right? So what is the maximum slope? Maximum of dx of t by dt, that is the maximum slope equal to a naught into 2 pi f naught, because the maximum value of sine is 1 simply. The maximum of sine value is 1, right? So the maximum slope of the input signal is a naught into 2 pi f naught, where a naught is the amplitude of the input signal, f naught is the frequency of the input signal, right? So we are already assumed that there is no slope overload. So what is the condition to avoid slope overload distortion? The condition to avoid slope overload distortion is maximum of dx of t by dt equal less than or equal to delta by Ts. That is the maximum slope of the input signal is always less than or equal to delta by Ts, right? So what is the maximum slope? That is a naught into 2 pi f naught, that is less than or equal to delta by Ts, right? So a naught equal less than or equal to delta by 2 pi f naught into Ts, So where Ts is nothing but the sampling period, right? So that is A naught less than or equal to delta by 2 pi f naught into Ts, right? Now what is the power of the input signal? So that is signal power. Signal power, that is the maximum signal power P max, which is equal to A naught square by 2, that is peak value square by 2. The power of signal is peak value square by 2, that is A naught square by 2. So substitute A naught value, which is equal to delta by 2 pi f naught into Ts whole square by 2. So which is equal to, it is delta square by, so it is 2 square means 4, it is into 2. So which is equal to 8 pi square f naught square into Ts square. So that is the maximum power of the input signal. Okay. So P max equal to delta square by 8 pi square f naught square into Ts square. Now what is the quantization noise power? So in case of no slope overload condition, that indicates the maximum quantization error is plus or minus delta. That is, we already assumed that there is no slope overload distortion. That indicates only granular noise will occur. So the maximum is plus delta, minimum is minus delta, right? So we are assuming that the quantization noise is uniformly distributed. The quantization noise is uniformly distributed. So this is the PSD of uniform distributive function, which is already covered in PCM system, whereas the PSD, that is power spectral density, in case of DM system is like this. So both are same, only the difference is in case of PCM, that is capital delta, in case of DM we are using a small delta. So what is the relation between these two? Capital delta equal to 2 into small delta. If you substitute, you can get the same answer, right? Assume that the quantization noise is uniformly distributed. The power spectral density of uniformly distributed function in case of DM system is this one. Okay. So y axis is PSD, x axis is nothing but the quantization error, right? Now we want to calculate the variance of quantization error. So we know the formula, sigma q square equal to expectation of q square minus expectation of q whole square. So that is the basic formula for the variance. So it represents the mean. So the mean value of mean is simply 0. So sigma q square equal to expectation of q square. What is the formula for this? Which is equal to minus infinity plus infinity q square into the PSD function is fq of qe, that is quantization error, into dqa. So substitute in the formula and simplify, minus infinity to plus infinity. So this value is simply q square into, and this value is simply 1 by 2 delta. So it is 1 by 2 delta into dqe. So which is equal to 1 by 2 delta minus delta to plus delta, that is q square into dqe, right? So what is the integration for x square? It is simply x cube by 3, right? So sigma q square equal to 1 by 2 delta into q cube by 3. The limits are from minus delta to plus delta. So which is equal to 1 by 6 delta. So substitute the upper limit, it will become simply delta cube. Substitute the lower limit, minus delta cube. So which is equal to 2 delta cube by 6 delta, which is equal to delta square by 3. The quantization noise power, that is the sigma q square equal to delta square by 3, right. So in the receiver we are having as a low pass filter. The cutoff frequency of low pass filter is nothing but the message signal bandwidth. If you remember the receiver structure, in the receiver we are having as low pass filter whose cutoff frequency is nothing but the message signal bandwidth, right. So the average output noise power, that means after passing through the low pass filter, what is the noise power, right. So the noise power is, so it is W by Fs into the noise power, that means sigma q square. So noise power we are already calculated, which is nothing but delta square by 3. The simply substitute in this formula, so which is equal to W by Fs into delta square by 3. That is the average noise power at the output of low pass filter, right. And finally calculate SNR. SNR means signal power by noise power, right. So we are already calculated signal power, that is P maximum, and the noise power at the output of low pass filter, that is WTS by delta square by 3, where TS is nothing but 1 by Fs. So simply substitute here, so which is equal to signal power delta square by 8 pi square into F naught square into Ts square. The noise power is W into Ts delta square by 3. So you can simplify it. So here, so this delta square and delta square get cancelled. Final value it will become simply 3 by 8 pi square into F naught square into W into Ts cube. So that is the final expression for SNR. So 3 by 8 pi square into F naught square into W into Ts cube. So that is the way how to calculate SNR for DM system, right. So in this lesson we discussed what do you mean by DM, what are the advantages of DM, what are the drawbacks of DM, what is the DM system transmitter and DM system receiver, followed by signal to quantization noise ratio. Thank you.